snacks.
What it do, snackers, snackettes? It's your boy Gage here on the couch with Sincere.
Yes, sir.
619 and Coop of Coop's Concession.
I wanted a number, but I don't have a number.
Did you used to have a number?
I used to.
He changes it.
I know. We talk about this consistently. Now he wants to change it again.
What number would you like to have?
No, I mean it sounds.
I was gonna say that. But
it just sounds cooler with a number.
Listen,
but it doesn't.
My name don't have no number. My joint cool as I don't know what. Cooler than a polar bear's toenail.
I notice I just really go by Sin.
Yeah, I know.
Yes,
and I know that the internet won't let you have that.
I'll take what I want. The internet. Okay. It's what it is. Alright? It's what it is.
I mean, okay. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Loaded Snacks Weekly.
Yep.
Guess what it is? It's a weekly show.
Oh. You got that from the
Where
title?
and which,
yeah. The people at home need to know. Gotcha.
Gotcha. I needed to make sure everybody was aware.
Are they aware?
Aware.
Okay.
Of what's going on.
You are now aware
that this is a weekly show.
Yes.
A weekly show.
Where in which we discuss things happening in pop culture.
That's right.
Okay. Kay, everything good back there?
Yeah.
That didn't sound convincing.
No, it did.
That didn't sound convincing at all. I hope everything's all right. So listen, big thing this week is we got to talk about Sony PlayStation's E3.
Yes.
Our predictions.
Because time is running out.
It's almost here.
Almost.
That's coming after the break.
Cool.
Where is it? Say it with me.
It's
after the break. Y'all saw that? It's like we try.
Teamwork. It's fluid now.
So before we get to the break, we have other things to discuss.
Okay, I'm down with that.
Now I have some things on the docket. Okay, but every time Coop comes, he comes prepared with something to discuss. When he's not swelling, Coop, what's on your mind, bro?
Well, I did not know that there was going to be a season 2 of Iron Fist.
Nobody did.
Why? Because it was just that terrible that no one thought about it again. But
I expected one.
Did you?
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because all the other ones had one. No other reason besides that.
But all the other ones
and
were
we got 2. We getting
I expected it like.
Okay.
But I recently saw screenshots of season 2. So apparently it's happening. But they've switched writers, they switched showrunners, and they say that this one
needlessly so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they say that this one could be better. So my question is, can Iron Fist be saved by a season 2?
No.
Possibly.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I mean, look, is it possible? Yes. Do I think it's gonna happen? No. and my reasoning behind that is because my favorite of all of those shows was Jessica Jones. And the second season of Jessica Jones didn't, to me, live up to the first season. The second season of Luke Cage already looks weak, which the first season of Luke Cage was lukewarm.
Hey.
So,
weak.
Listen, it had great music, but it had great music, but
that's it.
It had great music.
That's it. Yeah.
That's where it is. And I can't honestly tell whether or not the issues with Iron Fist come from the writing, the show running, or if it's Finn Jones' acting specifically. You know what I mean? I don't feel like what I saw of Iron Fist was better in The Defenders.
Not at all. Either. Not at all.
So,
if anything, it got worse, actually.
So, given that,
no, I say it got better because it wasn't all him.
Yeah.
If midway through the season, when I say midway, I mean like episode 2.
Wow.
There is, for sake of a spoiler, a dusting. I'll be okay with that.
Oh, okay.
A snapping. I'll be okay with that. It's probably not gonna happen.
I want to see all of them do well because this was a big thing when they first started.
Sure.
But we have seen in some instances where things have not lived up to what they should have.
True.
And I like the fact that it seems like they have realized that stuff
were
went
some issues?
Yeah, stuff went wrong. And like I said,
there were other issues with that though, because the showrunner also was running what?
Inhumans.
Oh, okay. How'd that turn out?
Yeah. Yeah. Point is, they're seeing this and they're realizing it,
Right.
And they're trying to at least salvage it. I think if they did make these changes, then it definitely wouldn't be coming back.
Did Mickey call him into a meeting and was like, "Fix this"?
Mickey don't call no meetings. He just waved the glove.
That's all he does. Just wave the glove.
Just wave the glove.
Just wave the glove.
Like, I do appreciate the fact that it seems like they're listening to the audience though, and trying to fix it.
Sure.
That shows that the people behind the scenes are, I like that.
I'm gonna sincerely
if they don't
disagree with you, sincere, only because because I think it's less of them listening to the audience and more of them realizing that it didn't perform well. Well, like both of those shows, the Inhumans, and I mean, there's
neither one performed well.
There's no question about it that Iron Fist was the worst of those 4
absolutely
shows. Well, there was 5 if you include.
Well, Netflix did say that although the show did not get a lot of high ratings, it was one of the most binge
everybody watched it
because everybody watched it for the Defenders.
Everybody watched it because you needed to know what was going on, and because
he was the new one coming in.
I mean, look, you can say the same thing about any of the MCU films that were films that people were like, I don't even know who that is.
Well, yeah, that's true too. Because I talked to a lot of people who didn't care about Doctor Strange until they saw Infinity War.
Sure, and then they were like, "Hey, he could do some stuff. He could do some stuff."
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize you didn't realize that when he kept rewinding time at the end of his first movie, but okay. I mean, look,
I agree with you. I do agree with your point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's a valid point. I'm hoping that I'm taking the other lane where they listen to the people. Even though if it was pressure with, from everybody else, be like, no, like, these didn't perform well, like, money, yada, yada. Like, at least hopefully you listen to the people, saw the problems that everyone had with it.
Right.
And are trying to correct it. Is there corrections enough to salvage it? I don't know. But at least they're making an effort to do it. To try to salvage it. And it's a lot to salvage.
I'm more interested in seeing them spin other stuff off. So, like, if they can find a way to spin something else out of it the way they did Punisher out of Daredevil season 2, right? Or really any of the other stuff. So like if Luke Cage can spin off a Misty Knight, you know what I mean, or something like that, like it is kind of time to start trying to bridge that and take and make a mini MCU out of what's happening there, which seems to be happening, right?
Yeah, Colin and Colin Wing and Misty, I know they have like a few series together, so that could possibly happen as well.
There's some possibilities.
Okay.
I don't have a whole lot of hope.
Need to see more of their on-screen collaboration to see if that's something that we would all want to see him pull off. But okay, something to look forward to. Yeah.
So look, let's switch gears for a second. We're gonna switch gears and go straight into games and gaming because we're gonna follow that all the way through the break. Okay.
All right.
So I'm not sure if y'all caught this. EA recently made an acquisition. Did you guys see this? So EA purchased Gamefly's streaming tech. So Gamefly has, you know what Gamefly is, right? You can rent games, get them in the mail, or whatever. It's just the Netflix of games. I partake
for a while, yes.
Right? Well, they also have a streaming service that allows you to stream games to PC through that same service, right? For that same pricing model. And EA purchased the tech. They didn't buy Gamefly.
Right.
Or buy Gamefly service specifically. They purchased the tech.
Technology, right.
And they purchased the developer of the tech. It's an Israeli developer of the tech. So one of the predictions that I specifically had for EA for this year was that there was gonna be a big push for mobile. Right? And when you look at what's happening with PUBG and Fortnite on mobile, it's a thing. Right? So the idea of having games that can stream straight to, like the way that Gamefly it works on mobile and it works on like Fire TVs, stuff like that, right? So them having access to that technology, when they're able to combine that with what they have with EA Access, Origin Access, I mean, again, that's probably the future of where gaming is going, right? I mean, PlayStation Now is a streaming service, right? It's different from the way Game Pass works, but streaming is going to continue to come, and right now we're on that cusp of phones moving into 5G as opposed to 4G. And as that wave hits and that speed gets better, gaming is going to get better as far as streaming is concerned. On that same note, I don't know if you guys caught this, but you know they're releasing Resident Evil 7 for the Switch.
No, I didn't catch that. Okay.
Did not catch that. Okay, well, check this out. It is only streaming. You can buy...
No, I did catch it. Okay, for some reason I was thinking of another Resident Evil game. I did catch that. Yeah.
Right now it's only in Japan. It came out a few days ago. And it's the equivalent of like $20. That gives you access to stream the game for like 180 days. But it's weird because on the Switch, like the Switch is not like having it on a cell phone where you're always connected to the internet. Right? So that means you're paying to be at home, right? Or constantly on Wi-Fi or something like that. Now maybe in Japan it's a little bit more robust. Maybe that Wi-Fi is kind of everywhere and it's maybe easier to do, right? But here, we're not ready for that yet.
Right.
But it's coming. It's coming.
It could be a plan. Could they do like a software update and give it that LTE compatibility?
I don't know. I think you need a chip. You know what I mean? To really be able to do that. I don't think that's gonna happen, right? And I don't think we'll see an updated Switch that has that.
Right.
It's funny hearing you say that because I heard recently too that they were trying to do a Mario Kart with mobile. You know?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, you know, it makes perfect sense for what you just said for them to try to do something like that.
For Nintendo, that'll be fine for them.
The idea of you purchasing access to a game, right? Because one of the things that's happening with the Resident Evil is that it doesn't guarantee to keep your saves. So, like, if your subscription or whatever, if it lapses, you may go back in to play again.
And lose all your stuff.
Sure. Yeah. So
I feel like that stuff needs a lot of tweaking, and
it does. It'll be terrible when it starts.
Yes.
But for it to start with something as big as Resident Evil 7 is not, you know what I mean? Like, that's not really small potatoes. I mean,
no, that's big.
But the question then is, like, does that mean Monster Hunter comes to Switch, but it's streaming only? Like, games that would be too big. Resident Evil is a current generation game. We've seen a lot of ports, but those ports have mostly been
from last gen.
Last generation. Right. Skyrim is a last gen game that's been ported. And
even though what's name was a current gen, Wolfenstein 2, it's not out yet.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so we don't see how
Doom was technically current. Yeah, you know what I mean? So we know it can be done, right? True. But Doom is more like a corridor. It's not like an open world.
Where it takes a lot of processing, that much processing power to do it.
Wolfenstein is basically the same way. Like, it's not like it's an open world.
Well, that could be the same for Resident Evil. It's still, it's not open world. It's still corridor based. But it's a good testing ground, I think, for a very popular title.
Yeah.
And like we're saying, it's corridor based, not open world based. Just to see if it can handle it.
It's something that'll get the attention of everybody.
Yeah, definitely. So people can try, test it out. They can study the numbers and see where to go from there.
I mean, I think what's tricky about doing it with something like that is that, I would think for most people that have a Switch, if you're going to buy Resident Evil, you would buy it on the home console you already have. And if for the most part you're stuck playing it at home, again, easier to do Wi-Fi in Japan. Maybe we don't get that same thing here. For us here, it wouldn't make as much sense. Like, I wouldn't buy it for the Switch. If I was going to buy it, I'm going to buy it. If I have to be home to play it.
Yeah, I would just buy
I mean, don't get me wrong. You could lay in the bed or whatever and play it or something like that, right? Like, that's the thing. Go sit on the toilet or whatever and play the joint. But
yeah, me personally, for my Switch, if I decide to get it, I would download it. Either digitally and have the whole game sitting there, so I don't.
But that's not how it works.
I know, but I'm saying like that's how I would.
You would
honestly prefer. Exactly,
right.
That's how I would want to prefer it.
Right. Yeah. It's like a 45 megabyte download. Like it has there's nothing to it. It's basically just like the title screen, and then you're streaming everything else as far as the gameplay is concerned.
I mean, look, if it comes in, I'll test it to see it, but you know,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I really just thought I would bring that up and just kind of see where we are on it, because I think that the future of gaming is going to continue to be in these streaming services, Game Pass type services, and
Definitely.
I'm interested to see where Nintendo's going with this.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm very
I mean, that's
interested to see
not.
where
I
they're
would
going
say
with
it's less of Nintendo doing it and probably more of Capcom doing it. But
Well, I think we always say Nintendo, it's the Switch, and like we just can't like
What else we end
you
up
can't do with like LTE, even 3G, like mobile
Right.
with it. So
Right.
you're localized to just hotspots when
Right.
you're whether you're at a Starbucks or McDonald's or
Yeah.
whatever, and you're trying to play this game. You know what I mean?
and
So
it seems like it would be so much less scary. Like if you're just at like a cafe or something, right? And you playing Resident
yeah,
Evil
seeing somebody at
with a bunch of
McDonald's
people
freaking
around.
out,
Yeah, like
that'll be funny.
just
But it
So
might
I-
not be as bad as you. It depends on if you travel with your Switch. It might not
Sure.
be as bad as you think.
Sure.
Airports have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Train stations have Wi-Fi. Bus stations.
Yeah.
Planes in the air have them now. So it might not be as
Yeah.
bad as you're
It
really
ain't,
thinking
it
about.
ain't cheap to get that though. But yeah, I'm just saying, like if you want to be able to use that Wi-Fi on a plane,
Yeah,
or whatever,
that
I mean,
particular
again,
service.
those things
to
are
play
gonna
that
change
one
though. Like
game.
that stuff will come down, but
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm saying to play that one game, like
Yeah.
it's not as bad, but it still might be costly. As
Yeah.
you just say that's
Right.
pricey to
Yeah.
do that stuff. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting to see what that does.
I want to see where it goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You know what I want to do though? I want to talk about E3.
Let's go.
I really want to talk.
We
about
are so
E3.
close.
We are. We so close. Take a break.
Yes, do that.
Okay, can we take a break?
Sure.
Kay said we can take a break.
Then I guess we can.
All right, we're gonna be right back.
Loading snacks.
The LS crew is proud to present for your listening pleasure, Sonically, from the DMV native producer, Grussel. His recently released project, The Ugly EP, is available right now. So shoot over to grussel.bandcamp.com/album/The Ugly EP and get yours today.
Loading snacks.
Welcome back, snackers and snackettes.
What's
We
happening?
lost one. We lost one.
We did.
It's cool. He was unprepared. It's cool though.
But we here.
Cool though. We are here.
We are here. We're
With
ready.
preparations.
We are ready.
Preparations.
I'm looking forward.
It's time to talk about Sony PlayStation 4 E3 predictions.
Yes.
So
we are.
look, let's just
Get the elephant out of the room.
yeah, let's get the elephant out of the room.
Okay.
Sony has already come out and said they're talking about 4 games at their showcase. They're not
Right.
calling it a conference, they're calling it a showcase. Okay? Which is a little scary. Only because what they did at PlayStation Experience in December, they called a showcase. And a lot of people were expecting it to be more like a conference because in years past, what they've done at PlayStation Experience has been basically the same thing as what they've done at E3.
And it's the same thing going on here going into
Right.
E3.
But they've held some stuff off, right? And so trying to predict what Sony's going to do for their E3 conference is partially about trying to figure out like what they might have that they might decide they want to hold for 6 months down the road until the end of the year at PlayStation Experience.
And Games Paris Week and, stuff.
Yeah,
stuff that they're known to be in.
Gamescom and stuff like that for sure, but like a lot of times you'll see something new, but you get a lot of repetitive stuff at the other game shows throughout the year, but they seem to hold some stuff for PlayStation Experience, or at least they did until this past year.
Right.
So I'm a little concerned. But what we know they're going to talk about, Death Stranding, Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and Spider-Man. Of those games, Ghost of Tsushima is the one that I'm most interested in. Because it's the one we seem to know the least about.
I'm with you 100% for that exact same reason.
Right. So the other part of that is, knowing that Ghost of Tsushima is going to be there, that makes me feel like we wouldn't see a siphon filter, even though that's what I want. I'm sorry, not Ghost of Tsushima, but knowing that they just released the information for what's the motorcycle joint, the motorcycle zombie joint. See,
Days Gone.
Days Gone. So that's not really supposed to be something that's gonna get showcased there.
Right.
I misspoke when I said Ghost of Tsushima. So, but that's Sony Bend, and Sony Bend is who does Siphon Filter. So because that's where their focus is, and they've decided to do the cover story with Game Informer and kind of put a lot of that information out, they've already told us that that's not coming until beginning of next year. I don't really expect to see anything. It might be playable on the floor or something like that.
Right.
But I don't expect to see it.
I'm with you.
Front and center. So Ghost of Tsushima, all we've really seen is like a CG trailer.
That's
which
it,
is
yeah.
kind of the same thing with Death Stranding. I think a lot of people are excited about Death Stranding, but I don't want to say I don't care. It's just that they haven't given me enough.
I'm excited to finally see like gameplay and get to know something about it. Everything just been shrouded in mystery. We get a very cryptic, weird cinematic trailer introducing new characters. Guillermo del Toro in the joint.
Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, like they're in it. Like that. That's cool. I'm rocking with you, but I don't know what is going on in this trailer whatsoever.
I'm not rocking with you. You haven't told me anything. Like, it seems so weird to me that people are like so excited and clapping or whatever, and they have no idea what this is. Look, they
can't come out of this conference without really telling us something and really showing us gameplay.
People won't care.
People
are gonna complain.
Look,
but
the masses will not care.
Yeah.
But let's be real, y'all. You can't do it. It's been 2 years now.
Yeah.
You cannot not show us something real and concrete now.
Kojima whatever he wants, but if they've decided to make it one of the focuses of this showcase, then there's got to be gameplay.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. They have finally what people like us have wanted.
Yeah.
Show us some concrete stuff now.
Yes.
Give us some story
in someone's hand.
Exactly. Have them on the stage playing it, showing us stuff.
People, Mark Cerny and people coming out saying, I played a couple of hours of the game, stuff like that. Kojima coming out and saying like, oh, the game already started. People are already playing the game. What does that mean? What are you talking about?
We need to see it.
Yeah. So
we need to see and hear it from these people who have played the games.
No doubt. Ghost of Tsushima, I'm excited about because the time period, the subject matter is something I'm just really interested in. The idea of samurai, ninjas, feudal Japan is like, I've been waiting for Capcom to sling me an Onimusha or something, and they just won't do it. They're not doing it. Can't get a Revenge of Shinobi game. Can't get a new Ninja Gaiden. I don't know what this game is, but I'm super interested in finding out what's actually happening. Is it first person? Is it third person? What is it?
I'm excited for the animation for the same reason.
Yeah.
Like, I'm into all that stuff too. Like, I watch anime heavily. Sure. Like, I went to Japan because that was number one thing on my bucket list to go to, like, do experience and stuff. Like, so games that tend to, like, the history and the lore and all that kind of stuff, I'm very, very into. So from the trailer back in December that we got, okay, my interest is very, very peaked. And I'm happy that this is one of the 4 games they're showcasing.
Yeah, me too.
Knowing that the other ones,
me too,
we've seen already,
right,
for 1 to 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And for this one being the one out of it like we've just seen, but we're also it's getting showcased, which means we're expecting gameplay.
Yeah.
Some story elements, all that kind of stuff. I'm happy. I'm proud of Sony for kind of doing that.
Yeah.
And just wondering what type of game it is now at this point.
We'll see what they do when they put it in front of us, but yeah, I'm excited about that. Now, Last of Us Part 2. There's still just so much mystery around what actually is happening, whose story this really is, who we're following, and what it all means. And I'm really just hoping they kind of dig in and tell us exactly what's on the table. The 2 CG, I mean, they could be in-engine trailers, but the 2 trailers that we have gotten, they were dope. You know what I mean?
Yes, they were.
But we know what that world is, right? So it's exciting to see what the next steps are for that world, but it's just like, stop playing around. Just tell us what's going on.
When he went them classic Uncharted demos they like to do on stage to really give us
where it messes up, so that you know it was actual. You know what I mean? Like that's what they need to do.
I mean, honestly, I have faith in The Last of Us.
Sure.
Naughty Dog has done a phenomenal job with the first one and with their Uncharted series and stuff. So I have faith in the game. It's just to the point now. It's been 2 years.
Stop messing around.
Give us, like I said, give us that gameplay footage.
Something
epic we get to see on stage to get all of us hyped, all of us feel good about it. Just give us that right now.
Yeah, I think that's the other reason why. I mean, they need to show that to us. So I think coming out and announcing it was an important thing to say. Like, look, this is what we're gonna show you. This, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I also think again, just the level of faith that people have in Naughty Dog as a developer just means that like nobody's concerned about whether it's going to be good. Everybody just wants to know what it is and when they're getting it. When is it going to be in our hands? That's what people want to know.
I feel you, and I think they've done great with Uncharted.
Sure.
The entire series, even the Lost chapters.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Even the first Uncharted. I think they've had a very strong run. And that's why people feel that way.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You know what I mean? There's no doubt about that. Spider-Man is the thing that I'm least interested in of all the things that they're showing, which probably sounds ridiculous right now. But I don't need to see anything else. Just ship me the game. All you need to do is put the title on the screen.
Just with the solid.
Bring a guy out.
In a Spider-Man suit?
Yes.
Okay.
Holding a PlayStation 4 Pro.
That's all you need.
With some Spider-Man spray paint on it.
Okay.
That's what we need. I am absolutely predicting that there will be a Spider-Man PS4 Pro that will get announced and will drop day and date with this game.
Okay.
Okay?
I can absolutely.
Because they have to.
Like, I don't have to. Me personally, I agree. I don't need to see anything else from Spider-Man, not from the same perspective, but I have seen the cinematic trailer. I've seen the gameplay footage. There's been announcements that you're going to be adding costumes, all that kind of stuff in.
Right.
I personally have seen enough to know that I'm buying this when it comes out, day one. I don't really need that much time dedicated to it on stage.
Right. Here's the thing.
To it, you can
They
announce.
did the same thing with Spider-Man as they did with Days Gone. It was the cover story on Game Informer. They gave us tons of information, dropped additional trailers, told us what's happening, explained to us the way the movement system works, the way the fighting system works, the way the crawling and the climbing system works. Mm-hmm. Like, there really isn't a whole lot left to say, right? And then the game comes out in September. It's only a couple of months away. So the only reason to bother putting it on stage here is either you have something major to announce about it that hasn't been said, and that needs to be a PlayStation 4 Pro.
A bundle.
And matching controller. Stop playing around.
See, you put an extra with the controller.
But this is what happened. The God of War joint fails because the controller isn't sweet. If they put out...
And then what if the controller of Spider-Man ain't sweet?
Nah, it will be. What you mean?
It possibly can happen.
Nah.
You could possibly be the only person who likes this controller.
Be sweet.
I respect that.
Don't be sweet. What you mean? That's sweet.
Okay.
Everybody give me your joint.
Fair enough.
Tell me.
Have nothing but Spider-Man controllers in the joint.
Hey.
You come over here, you on the Spider-Man
Should
controller.
I get up and go
story.
get one right now? Because I can do it.
Okay.
I can do it. So look, having discussed what we know is going to be there already.
Right.
What else are you expecting?
Okay. So we've gotten all that out of the way. So I can actually delete some things off my list.
Okay, that's
so
fair. That's fair.
I do think Days Gone will get a release date.
Okay.
I noticed it's not coming
like
out
an actual day. Okay.
an actual date. I don't think it's coming out this year because they stated, but I do think it'll be in by the fiscal year. So
Right.
I'm
They've
expecting
had a lot of success by having the games come out early in the actual year.
I'm expecting around March, but I think Days Gone will get a hard release date.
Okay.
I also think Dreams will get a release date finally, and it
Okay.
will be this year.
Okay.
So we all finally get our hands on this crazy game, and
I'm gonna tell you what
Yeah.
I think. Since you're talking about Dreams, my prediction is that it's gonna drop during E3 into a beta, into a live beta.
I can work with that.
Yeah.
I still think it's coming out this year, but
Yeah.
I can definitely rock with the beta
Yeah.
thing debuting during E3. I think we'll have a Destiny showcase of things to come, because now the season passes up. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing else, so they're gonna bring back racing and new things coming and show it in a
They
montage.
better do something because people are hot with that game. They are angry about that game right now. These emotes and these dollars that got to be spent. Who owes me some beer? Was that you?
That was me.
My man. Bring a beer. Just so y'all know. He bringing beer.
They should be hot with Destiny.
I agree.
Also, I think we might get some Shenmue 3 gameplay footage.
Okay.
Not saying it's coming out anytime soon.
No.
But at least like an alpha of
Let me see Rio
walking around the
smacking him in
town
the
or
mouth.
punching somebody,
Yeah.
like just something to let people know it's in development.
with the old fresh leather.
There you, ooh,
Fresh
yes,
brown bomber.
Yes, that joint. I think we'll see a revamp to their backwards compatibility.
What backwards compatibility?
Ha
'Cause
ha.
that doesn't exist.
I'm saying, like, to go up against Game Pass, they got to do something with their backwards compatibility. They have a great library,
Okay.
but it's in no way, shape, form, or comparison to what Xbox is doing. I think they do need to do something with it because
Okay.
they have a great library that a lot of us would like to dive into and get into, and right now it sucks. Just flat out, it does. And last but not
least, I got you.
I'm gonna throw this one out there. I hope it happens. Rocksteady's gonna announce their new game
Okay, you think that's happening
on the
Sony
PlayStation
stage?
stage.
Okay,
Yes, I
Okay.
think the creators of the Arkham Knight series will announce their new game.
and it will be
Fingers
Superman.
crossed it is not Superman, but if it is,
Justice League.
we will deal with it
Okay, you're not gonna play it?
in the post show when we talk about it.
Okay,
we'll deal with it
absolutely.
then.
Absolutely.
But if you ask me where it's leading towards, it's that.
So I broke my joint down like I did with Microsoft services,
Okay.
games, hardware. So just real quick, services. I don't even think they're gonna talk about PlayStation now. I don't even think they're gonna talk about it.
Okay.
I think there'll be some changes to PlayStation Plus. But I think one of the things that will happen is if, like my prediction about Xbox making playing online free, if that happens, Sony will do the same thing. One of the things that Sony has had the advantage of every year has been able to react to whatever Microsoft does.
Microsoft announces it.
Sony's
The
doing
next day,
it. Sony's doing
Sony's
it.
saying, "Yeah, we free too."
Yeah, straight
Okay.
up. They're doing
But
it.
we had the idea first.
Yep.
That's why.
If it happens though, I think it'll happen in a pre or post show. I don't think it'll happen on the
On
main
the stage. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Games. I think there'll be at least one new IP and one classic game because they've been kind of digging in the crates, going in the vault, right? I think Twisted Metal is going to be the classic game. I think that's what we're getting.
That's a good pitch. That's a good pitch.
Again, I told you about Dreams. I think getting released in the beta. I think Soul Calibur we see on Sony stage with exclusive characters.
characters?
Now.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to be those characters we talked about last week. You want to know who those are, you go back and watch that.
Okay.
I think we're going to get free God of War DLC. I don't think they're done with God
I
of
think it's
War.
gonna be paid.
Okay, and that's cool.
I think they're gonna treat it like a
Like an expansion the way they
Like
did with
Uncharted,
Uncharted.
yep. I
Okay,
think they're gonna do
that's
that.
possible.
Come around
Hardware.
this
I think we're going to see a $50 price drop across the board.
okay.
Because I think they're going to get ready to move out of the old PS4s altogether.
Into the
There will
Pros.
only be PS4 Pros available. So I think we see that price drop. Obviously, the Spider-Man PS4 Pro, and I think we get a slim version of the PS4 Pro.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. I also think we'll see another price drop on PSVR.
That what I like.
I think we'll see a price drop. Now that might not happen on the main stage either, but I think it's coming.
But it'll come during E3. Okay.
Absolutely. Okay. Outside of that, man, that's pretty much where I am with my predictions for Sony.
I actually like both of our predictions a lot for Sony. I think we have a good chance of seeing a lot of those.
Good majority of
those coming true. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Out there, in the internet. Do you think we got this right? Do you agree with what our predictions are? If you have predictions of your own, drop them in the comments. Please. While you're there, make sure you hit that like if you like this video. And make sure you hit the thumbs down if you didn't like it. You gotta hit the ding-a-ling bell.
Hit that ding-a-ling.
That way every time we post a video, you get notifications. Yeah. Notifications are key.
They are.
If you want to catch up with the crew, we are at Loading Snacks across all the socials. Mm-hmm. For my man, Coop's Concessions. For my man, Sincere 619. For the homie Gage, that's Empty Shells, MTSHELZ. And for the homie back there behind the camera, making all this magic happen, Creative 71. That's creative with a K. 71. We are Loaded Snacks. With that, we're out. Toodles and loose.
Loading Snacks.